Okay, the grand staff made easy. First of all, we're going to draw a brace and a bracket. I call this Mr. Mustache. Now, used to be, these had another line going through the center, and they were all stuck together. So there were 11 lines, and that middle line was a C. But that was really hard to read, so they divided it and put a space between them. And then they marked this as the G clef because this is the G line, and that was a fancy G. And the circle circles the G. So I like to call this marker G. Okay, and then here is the F clef because this is the F line. So the two dots tell us where F is. This is marker F. That's just my own name for them because they mark these clefs known as the treble clef or the G clef. And this, if you know cursive, looks like a cursive F, you can see that. This is the bass clef or the F clef. Okay? Now, I like to mark out our C's, and I like to call this from C to shining C, starting with middle C. But I'm only going to draw half of it, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm going to draw half of this middle C. It's floating on a ledger line here. And then I'm going to draw treble C. And now I'm going to draw high C. Now, if this were wet ink and I folded this paper in half, the mirror image we would see would be, there's middle C, then we have base C, and now we have low C. It's a mirror image. All of these are C's. So if you can remember high C, flip it upside down and you have low C. Base C and treble C are mirror images of each other if you had folded the paper in half, and middle C is, of course, in the middle. Now, another handy trick I have is the treble space face, because the spaces spell the word face. So I like to make an actual face and put hair on it, and this is our treble space, because it's in the spaces, face. So you can remember the treble space face, F, A, C, and E. Now that's up high. Treble notes are up high. Down here, where it's low to the ground, we have the space, base, cows, diet. And that is simply all cows eat grass. So if you can remember, all cows eat grass, the space cows diet, because it's in the spaces and it's down low to the ground. The grass grows on the ground where it's low. All cows eat grass. You can know those spaces. Now, let's review what we have so far. We can always find F in the bass clef because it's marker F. We can always find G in the G clef because of marker G. The circle down here tells us where the G is, and the two dots here tell us where the F is. Now, we have our mirror image from C to shining C. There's one more very cool mirror image I want to show you. So I'm going to redraw our G clef, circle the G line, go up through the roof, drop straight down for the fish hook, and we have a treble clef. Now here, we make the number 2 without a bottom, and we put 2 dots on it, and that's our F clef. Now, pretend this is wet ink again. I'm going to draw marker G, and this is what I like to call cherry on top G. Now, if this were wet ink and we folded it, what would we have? We would have marker F and foundation F. They are a mirror image. So the clef names are mirror images. So this is cherry on top G, marker G, with the G clef. And down here, with the F clef, we have marker F and foundation F. And I like to put a little cherry stem in the top of cherry on top G, and I like to draw Mr. Foundation F. He's a strong man. He's got big muscles because he's holding up the whole grand staff. So to review, we have our mirror image of marker F and foundation F in the F clef or base clef. For the G clef, oh, I forgot to write F clef. And the mirror image, like if we folded this paper in half, we would see marker G and cherry on top G. We have our treble space face, which give us the faces F, A, C, E, and the treble clef. In the base clef, we have the space cow's diet. All cows eat grass. Over here, we have the mirror image of C to shining C, high C, treble C, middle C, base C, and low C. And then we simply have marker G and marker F with our treble or G clef and base or F clef. And that is the grand staff made easy.